afternoon, my friends. Welcome to this episode of Happiness After Codependency. I'm Marshall Bircher, and I'm your guide back to knowing, trusting, loving, and living who you are, so you can go on and have happiness and well-being in your life without codependency, without needing to please, needing to fawn, or needing to control things. So I'm excited that you're here. Today's episode. This is episode number 8 of Emotional Well-Being. We're going to explore the question of, are you trying to fix your feelings, right? And what to do about that. So we're going to have some graphics in this edition. So if you're listening via podcast, come and join us on Facebook or on YouTube and watch it, because there's going to be drawings. And those are going to be a little challenging to translate just over audio. But I will try, but the visual will help there. So, yeah, we're all going to get some martial art today. So a couple things before we get started. First, let's get this shared out to the community real quick. Let me know. Yeah, say hi in the comments below and let me know how you guys are doing. And let's get this shared out. So the community, if you're new to me, the community is your safe haven where you can find guidance, tools, and support in your journey back to yourself. Link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And check out the rules links to the community before joining, so you make sure that the community is a proper fit for what you're looking for in your world. Because we have rules that govern the container that allow us to connect and understand each other effectively and navigate both the trauma we've been through, the lived experiences we've been through, and experiment with life beyond that. So, again, above on Facebook, below on YouTube for those links. Let's get shared out here. Okay. Okay. And it is posted. So I can come back here. So it's good to see you. Hi, Jasmine. Nice to see you. Okay. A couple of three announcements specifically before we jump in. Number 1, the relationship strategy enrollment opens this Monday, February 14th. So come join us there. In the relationship strategy, I'm going to teach you 3 specific things. I'm going to teach you how to build compatibility using what's called the what, how, who method. How do I phrase this? All right, we're going to teach you how to build intimacy, secure attachment through proper attachment management, communication, and conflict management. So we're going to build connection through those 3 things. And we're going to teach you the foundation of how to build a relationship from the idea of consent and privilege, so that we can eliminate the unnecessary conflicts that tend to arise because we come from the all too normal entitlement and obligation element of relating. So you're going to learn those 3 things in the relationship strategy, so you can experience relationships of any type: romantic, friendship, business, therapeutic, and so forth, where you feel seen, you feel valued, and you feel loved. Because ultimately, you're building these things based on compatibility and the fulfillment they bring you and the other people involved. So that starts, the 27th enrollment starts this Monday. Announcement number 2 is I'm on some podcasts and some virtual summits coming up. There's 2 of them specifically, one called Embody You that'll be here in April, and one called the Beauty and Tragedy Summit that starts the 21st of February. You want to learn more about those and join in, watch me discuss codependency, self-trust, all that. The link for that is in the announcements above on Facebook, below on YouTube, as well as the link to more information on the relationship strategy. And that brings us to announcement number 3. A lot of you have asked for a way to donate or contribute as a way of saying thank you for the work I put out there. I have finally created a link for that, and that is in the description on Facebook, below on YouTube. You can just click on it and you can donate some money. Since this is new, I plan on using that money to help people with scholarships and courses, stuff like that. So I'll let you know what we discover with that. So there you go. Now, let's get to today's topic, which is, well, the big question. Are you trying to fix your feelings? Are you trying to get rid of them, make them better? And are you stuck in the trap of, I should feel better because I've been doing all this work. Those feelings should never come up again. Or I shouldn't have this, or I shouldn't have that. See, a lot of times we get into therapy, we get into self-help, we get into courses and work and coaching or whatever it is because we want to change something, right? And we come at this from a technical point of view, like something is wrong and bad and I want it to be different than what it is, which will mean it's good, right? Sorry about that for knocking the mic there. The key here, the trap here rather, is that we're trying to fix something that isn't fixable. Instead, we're acting towards that thing within us the way we were acted towards by someone else. And this is where the art stuff comes in. So I'm going to switch this over to my handy dandy stylus so I can make this work. I haven't done this in a while, so let's see what happens here. Let me know if it's working. It looks like it's working, so let's see. All right. Come here. It's not switching over. It's not doing its job. There it is. I got it. Buttons, always buttons. All right. So I'm going to write a little smiley face here. No, I don't want that. See, today is being fun, so we're just going to test it. There we go. We got the smiley going. All right, good. All right, so what happens? I'm going to draw a little person here. Let's say this was me when I was 2 years old. Okay? Fun stuff. So I'm 2 years old here. And I have a need. A need shows up. And I'm like, okay, Mom, I have a need. Where did it go? The thing is... okay, we'll have to stick with the same color here. All right. And then I take this need and I send it out. I say, hey, I have a need. And this person over here that I'm, let's say, dependent on, they're like, no. So they send all this mean energy towards my need. So what this does to us here is I internalize this reaction as the way I should respond to this need. So let's say this need is frustration. So frustrated. Now I respond to my need with frustration. So let's say the need is, I need some attention. Hey, I need some attention. And that's received with frustration by the other person. And I internalize that as, hey, this need for attention is frustrating. So now I start to respond to it with frustration. Does that make sense there? Let me know in the comments below if that's making sense. Now I'm gonna get better at this. I'm gonna erase all that. Now, what happens in our adulthood is we still have that need, right? The need for attention. But now I'm this adult. This is me at, say, let's use 43 years old. That's how old I am now. So here I am. Yay! Gonna give myself some hairs. All right. So my need for attention shows up again from my inner child. Okay? The inner child shows up. Hey, get there. I'll call it ink for now. The inner child says, I've got a need for attention. And let's say I've not done any work here. This is just my programming. And I respond to it with that, no, this is annoying. This is frustrating, right? I don't need this. This needs got to stop. I'm acting out what I learned from someone else in response to this need. This is where we get trapped. This is where the fixing starts to come in. So let's say I want to fix this. I want to feel better about things. Okay, so I'm going to do me again. So let's say I've done some work. So I'm in therapy. I'm like, okay, I want to fix this problem, this attention issue, right? I need some attention. And my response to it is, no, I don't want it. What typically happens to us at this point, I'm going to see if I can get a different view here. No. So we need a different color. And I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I did here. There we go. I clicked on the wrong thing. All right. So what happens here is in therapy, I come here and I'm like, oh, this frustration towards my need is the problem. So I get frustrated with the frustration. Why do you keep showing up? I don't like you. Why are you here? And this is important. This is the switch here. This frustration that I am feeling towards my need is actually this part of me. It's the inner child going, I'm frustrated too about this need. Right? Is this making sense? All right. Key switch here. When we're responding to the frustration with frustration, we're still stuck in the loop. This is what fixing is. So I'm going to check comments. Let me know if this is making any sense for you all. And I'm going to come back here. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to move to the next stage. So this is where fixing is showing up, is we're trying to make all that different. So the key here now, in real healing, and a concept I teach called ALI, Acknowledge, Legitimize, and Integrate, gets us to where we really need to be. So right now, the inner child, its job, hello inner child, it's expressing this frustration about its need for attention. Me as the parent to the inner child, this is the work, I acknowledge the child. So first I acknowledge it. You're real. What you're feeling here, this frustration, is real. Come here, home. I'm going to change color. This frustration, this pain that we feel right here, real. It matters. I understand this. I care about it. And I care about you. That gets us out of fixing. It gets us into the love that this part of ourselves did not get when they first expressed their need for attention, or whatever need it might be. So back when he was 2 years old, he's like, Mom, I need some attention. And Mom's like, frustration. And then he's like, okay, I'm frustrating. I'm a frustrating being. Our work in adulthood is to bring that around and go, I love you. And then what that does is I care for the feeling at the same time. This creates integration. So we acknowledge it. Hey, this is real. I see you. I acknowledge this frustration you're feeling and what you're going through. And then we legitimize it. Legitimization. Make it real and valid to yourself. Well, yeah, of course feel this frustration about my need. Way back here when I was 2, up here with this frustration, that's where I learned it from. And then from there, it moves into integration. Because it's like the inner child, I'll go here and change colors. The inner child now feels like they're safe enough to connect with my present self and begin to evolve and mature in its own way. See, the key to loving ourselves isn't to eliminate pain. It's to care for it. Care for the pain. And we do that through ALI. We acknowledge it, we legitimize it, we integrate. That means that whatever pain shows up for us, I'm going to switch this back over to our normal screen. Whatever pain shows up for us is valid and real. Whatever pain's there is a part that wants to be loved. It wants to be cared for. It wants to be nurtured. It is the hard part. It's the courageous part. It is the real work. So, before I came on today, I had a little charge in my body. And my mind's like, man, we could screw this up because I have this like real desire to teach this, get out there and do this thing. I had this want to be present and do it well, and it's a complicated thing to do, things like that. And now, I acknowledge it. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm doing it. And it's still a little scary. But that part of me that's scared, I'm like, yeah, of course it is. This is kind of, vulnerable. It's exposure. Who knows how this is going to be received? If I'm going to make it work right. And that's okay. I love you. See, the goal there wasn't to eliminate my anxiety. The goal wasn't to eliminate the fear. It was to be on my own side. And this can be very difficult sometimes with really big feelings, especially shame, guilt, insecurity. Really, when it comes to needs that were vulnerable for us, with things that mattered to us that we didn't get, that we were really harmed in. It can be very, very difficult to go that way. So we do it in small moments, small bits. We titrate it. Titration means small bits at a time, a little bit at a time. So it's like I can acknowledge the shame that I feel towards my need for 10 seconds. I can express love towards the part of me that feels that shame about that need for 10 seconds. I can allow myself to open up to loving that part of myself for 10 seconds. Things like that. And that's where we start to get really connected. This is where ALI starts to get its power. Because when we're acknowledging it, we're allowing ourselves to reconnect. Then we get connected to ourselves and we legitimize it. Well, yeah, this need I was feeling, of course it's scary to have this need. Of course it feels like there's a lot of shame in it. What did I get from other people about this need? Oh, I got judgment. I got criticism. I got told I was too much, too little, selfish, frustrating, a nag. Oh, no wonder I'm carrying this feeling, this emotional association around with this need I have, or this want. Then, yeah, of course I'm feeling shame. I've been shamed for it. And there's nothing else to do there, because what's interesting about this is we're bringing shame in to the conversation, into connection, and it tends to start to dissolve. It's like, oh, you're being witnessed, and it's okay to be where you're at, and okay to feel what you do about this thing. And then the shame melts, and then we get in contact with what was originally there. That is the pain. The pain of the rejection or the loss or the message. And then behind that, we get in contact with that need again in a more clear, honest sense. And that connects us back to ourselves. So I'm going to switch this back over and I'm going to draw that out in our big messy thing here. So we will do a new one. No. See, it goes a lot like this, timeline-wise here. So we'll bump this out. Where am I? All right, there we are. So what happens is we have an event right here. Event. And then before that, we had a need. And then we have self right here. Okay. Hi. All right. So, 2-year-old me had a need for attention. I put the need out. Hey, I need attention. Then the event occurred. And that event was frustration in this example, right? And then that created an emotional response of shame. And then that shame became associated with the need. Voila. When we ALI it, what we do is we acknowledge the event, the shame, the need, and that reconnects us with ourselves. Let me know if that makes sense. Because this is how we do emotional repair. So I'm going to click us back into the big screen again. Okay. Yeah. Me and tech today. All right. So when we care for ourselves this way, we're acknowledging, yeah, what I went through was real. How I feel about my need was real. How I feel about the way I was treated is valid and real. We're really on our side now. We're really aligned with what's real for us. It's back to integrity, back to congruency or alignment for ourselves. This is where the healing really happens for us. Because we get integration. We're no longer stuck at the 2-year-old. Like in my example, the 2-year-old is no longer driving the bus in this. I am, as the 43-year-old parent of the 2-year-old now, going, yeah, I get it, 2-year-old. I'm here. I love you. I care about you. I've got your back. And now they're free to ask for attention. They're like, oh, I don't feel as much shame or as much fear. I actually feel like some confidence and some joy in sharing this. And then he gets to ask for it. He gets to be creative in his way that brings attention in ways that are aligned for him. This is the magic of getting more in contact with our true lived experience rather than trying to fix ourselves, because there's nothing to fix. My 2-year-old's reaction to wanting attention is valid and real. His need for attention is valid and real. Now he's more aligned. Now him and I are more aligned. So my friends, that's what we do about it. When we find ourselves trying to fix ourselves, as we move into acknowledgement, then into legitimization, and then into integration of our lived experience and our emotions about that lived experience and the need we had in it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys for being here in today's episode. This has been fun, a little techie. So go gently with yourselves. Again, if you're watching via YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You're watching via podcast. Thank you guys for doing that. I'm on Spotify and Google and Apple Podcasts, so you can find me all over that. And if you're on Facebook, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate y'all. You guys have a good day, and I will see you in our next episode.